Dear students, in the previous video lectures, we have seen about the microdiversity, which is used to prevent small scale fading. In this video lecture, we are going to see about the macrodiversity, which is used for preventing large scale fading. Already we know the large scale fading is caused by shadowing due to the variation in the amplitude levels of both the transmitter and receiver and the nature of the surroundings. The large scale fading is a log normally distributed signal, that is, the received signal power decreases logarithmically. This fading is prevented by selecting an antenna which is not hidden by the obstacle and has an increase in the signal to noise ratio. If we consider that there is a hill between the mobile station and the base station, there is no meaning of using separate antennas or more number of antennas in both the base station and the mobile station. If we use a separate base station which is not shadowed or which is not hidden by the hill, then there is a direct line of sight between this new base station and the mobile station. So therefore there is a proper communication between this new base station and the mobile station without the disturbance of the hill. Then there are two macro diversity techniques: selection diversity and combining diversity. The selection diversity is a technique in which out of all the signals coming from the different channels, a best signal is selected and that signal is connected to the receiver. Best signal means the signal coming from the different branches with the highest signal to noise ratio. So the signal with the highest signal to noise ratio is selected and is connected to the receiver. The signal to noise ratio is defined by using the formula SNR is equal to capital gamma, which is average signal to noise ratio is equal to EB by N0 into alpha bar square, where EB is the average carrier energy, N0 is the noise power spectral density, and alpha is a random variable used to represent the variation of the amplitude values due to the fading. The instantaneous signal to noise ratio gamma I is defined as gamma I is equal to instantaneous signal power of a branch divided by mean noise power on the same branch. The probability density function for such a channel is P of gamma I is equal to 1 by capital gamma e power minus small gamma I divided by capital gamma. Then the probability that a single branch receives a signal which has the signal to noise ratio less than some threshold gamma is given by PR of gamma I less than gamma, which is the threshold, which is equal to the integral of the probability density function, which is found to be 1 minus e power minus small gamma by capital gamma. So this is the probability that a single branch has the signal with the signal to noise ratio less than the threshold. Similarly, the probability that all the m independent diversity branches receive the signal which has the signal to noise ratio less than threshold is given by 1 minus e power minus small gamma by capital gamma whole power m, which is denoted by Pm of gamma. Then the probability that a signal branch will receive the signal with the signal to noise ratio greater than the threshold, which is given by the total probability minus the probability that the signal receives the signal to noise ratio that is less than threshold. So the total probability is 1. So 1 minus Pm of gamma, which was already found in the previous slide. The Pm of gamma is nothing but the probability that the M independent branches receive signal with the signal to noise ratio less than threshold. So which is finally given by 1 minus of 1 minus e power minus small gamma by capital gamma whole power m. So for example, if m equal to 1 and small gamma by capital gamma is equal to 1, then the probability that the signal branch achieves a signal to noise ratio greater than the threshold is equal to 1 minus e power minus 1 whole power n, which the value is found to be 0.36, that is 36%. Then there are two techniques in selection diversity. First one is received signal strength indication driven diversity. So in this technique, a separate sensor is used to measure received signal strength. So that will be indicated by the sensor. Then the receiver, which will receive the signal from each antenna, and its corresponding the received signal strength is compared with each other. The signal with highest received signal strength is only connected to the demodulator or detector. So here the signal with highest received signal strength is selected and is connected to the demodulator. Then the second technique is bit error rate driven diversity. Here the signal with least bit error, the signal with the least bit error rate is selected and is connected to the detector. So in this technique, a training sequence is transmitted. Then the receiver filter will receive the signal from each antenna and it demodulates the signal. Then the demodulated signal is compared with the transmitted signals, the transmitted sequence. Then if any signal is found to be with the least bit error rate, then that signal only is selected and is given and is connected to the detector. The drawbacks in this technique, bit error rate diversity, are the receiver has only one demodulator, the duration of the training sequence is finite. Then the next technique is called as the combining diversity. In selection diversity, one best signal of all the signals coming from different branches is selected and is connected to the output. So the remaining signals are wasted. So only the selected signal is connected to the output and the remaining signals are wasted. This drawback is avoided by combining diversity, where the signals coming from all the different branches are combined together. There are two techniques in the combining diversity: maximal ratio combining and equal gain combining. So in the maximal ratio combining diversity technique, the signal from all the M branches are co-phased with each other and are weighted according to their individual signal voltage to noise power ratio. So here this gamma 1, gamma 2, and so on up to gamma small m, they are the signal level, and G1, G2 and so on up to G suffix small m, they are their respective gains. So the total output at the detector is nothing but the sum of products between the signal level and their respective gain. So the resulting signal level or signal envelope at the detector is denoted as Rm, which is the sum of products between the signal level Ri and their respective gains Gi. So which is given by the expression as sum of Gi into Ri. The total noise power Nt applied to the detector is the weighted sum of the noise in each branch. So each branch is multiplied with the same noise power n. So which is given by n into summation of Gi square. Then the signal to noise ratio applied to the detector, gamma suffix capital M, is given by Rm square divided by 2 into NT. This gamma m is maximum when Gi is equal to Ri by N. So when we substitute this Gi is equal to Ri by N in the first equation expression Rm, then it will become Ri square by N. Similarly, if we substitute the Gi is equal to Ri by N in the second expression Nt, then it will become Ri square by N square. Now substitute both Rm and Nt in the third expression gamma suffix capital M, then Rm squared, Rm is what? Ri squared by N. So Rm squared is Ri squared by N whole square. Then the denominator is 2 into Nt. Here the 1 by T is taken outside. Then the Nt is what? Nt into Ri squared by N square. So N into Ri squared by N square. Then after simplification, the N square will be cancelled. Then Ri power 4 divided by Ri squared, which will become Ri squared in the numerator. Then already there is N in the denominator. So totally 1 by 2 summation of Ri squared by N. So Ri squared by 2N, which is nothing but signal to noise ratio. And it is denoted by gamma I. So summation I equal to 1 to M gamma I. So gamma M, which is the signal to noise ratio at the detector output, is equal to the sum of the signal to noise ratio of the individual branch. Then the mean signal to noise ratio is given by gamma M average, which is equal to summation of gamma I average, gamma I of instantaneous signal to noise ratio, that is average of instantaneous signal to noise ratio, which already we know capital gamma. So capital gamma is the average signal to noise ratio for every branch. So totally capital M number of branches. So the mean SNR is equal to M into capital tau. Then the last combining technique is equal gain combining. In all the situations, we cannot provide variable weighting capability, so that all the signals coming from each branch are co-phased with each other and are multiplied with unity gain. So this will give the highest achievable signal to noise ratio at the receiver. This technique will allow the receiver to receive the signal which are simultaneously received on each branch. The probability of producing an acceptable signal from a number of unacceptable inputs is still retained. The performance of this technique is inferior to maximal ratio combining, but better to selection diversity. So this is the expression of the SNR of the combiner output and the mean SNR of the combiner output.